We're gonna get into a few barrels. Richard and I are going on another barrel pick. I'm actually working through building communication around this. Richard, maybe you could help. Richard and I will probably know each other for the next, we'll probably till the day we die, unfortunately. And
fortunately.
Well, yeah, fortunately enough. I mean, fortunately. Well, unfortunately, because we got to go sometime.
Yeah.
But what I was looking at last night, I was literally looking at some of the stuff we put out content-wise, and then I looked at how absent I've been personally. You've actually been on at least one of the picks, and you saw how much moving I do around.
Yeah.
How much recording I'm doing, and how in like up, and then I go sit down for a second. What's up, boss? Come on in. This is Darren. He's a good dude. He can be on camera too. But I said, Richard, I've got to find a way to be more involved. What way would you think I could help those who are like maybe need a second whiskey perspective embrace what we're like doing? Because it's a lot. When we walked into White Dog, dude, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the second times next to MGP.
Yeah.
But you was at MGP, right?
Yeah. No, I wasn't in early September. No, I was only on the Barton 18 trip. So yeah, I did not get to go to MGP on that because my sister was getting married.
He told his sister though, if you get married again, I'm not. If this ever happens
this one's got to stick.
If this ever happens again, I'm not missing Kentucky. He did tell me that. He's like, I said, dude, Richard, what are you doing?
No, I think the way you approach all these interviews and these questions, it's like you're on a journey, you're wanting to learn more about whiskey, and I feel like people get to live vicariously through you. I think you ask excellent questions, and I think they're all, it's all information that people in that situation they're getting started on their whiskey journey would want to know. So I think that's all great, and I think that adds a lot to the media that we put out and people trying to figure out what we're doing and why we're doing that. I think you ask a lot of the right questions on these picks.
And again, guys, let me give you perspective here. I've only been in whiskey a year and a half. I think in July or sometime it'll be my second year here with the blendery. I was here for Buff Turkey, captured that. I was here for 18-year Barton, captured that. Got to go to MGP, which people don't get to see, captured that. We're now going back. Tim's dad won a Saz barrel pick. Whether you like Saz, Stag, whatever Buffalo Trace puts at, I don't think the average person within 2 years of getting into whiskey gets to go to Buffalo Trace and do a barrel pick.
That's right.
So I've now been invited due to his skill. That is communication. That is capturing stuff. Jamarcus behind the camera today. When I go to Kentucky, I don't miss a shot, period. I dropped them in last time, 144 videos just from a day. I don't miss a shot. I don't post it all or share it all because I'm like, Tim, we got to tell the big story one day. But to your point, I asked Tim years ago if he would help me learn about whiskey so I could build a whiskey brand. One of the best places I've ever been from a branding and business standpoint. So Richard's a guy who's going to help me continue to give you behind the scene perspective. Him and I have had some great conversations. It's like everybody pairs up with somebody, and then Richard and I always partner up in some form of fashion. So I get to learn a lot on this next one, which leads into what are some things we should be thinking about when we go to Kentucky this time. For sure, I'll get to sit in on being guided in a barrel selection or barrel pick.
Both. Yeah, because we're doing a pick, but then we're also going to be buying barrels, like for us to be brought back here to either blend with or single barrel. So all of it. Yes.
I literally don't know how to put into words what the journey's been like in the short term, which is why I just keep the camera rolling. But you said this one's singing today. Let's get into it. Walk them through what you look for in a barrel and how that's going to translate to good old Kentucky now.
Well, I feel like also, you were talking about how it's going to translate for you. I feel like when you came in, you were kind of learning about whiskey, but I feel like you have a good palate, and I feel like you know what you like now. And that's the biggest, most important part about whiskey to me is knowing what you like. Because everybody likes different stuff. You need to know what you like so you can buy the right whiskey for you. And I know your palate. I know the things that you like, and so you've come far enough along now to know what you like, which is
that's all thanks to Richard and these guys, man. I've created the best whiskey page because I don't have to drink bad whiskey. There's no situation where I have to go get some mediocre, below average, regular ass whiskey.
Honestly, man, I don't know too many people that have had a more accelerated whiskey journey than you.
I don't know anybody.
2 years in doing Buffalo Trace picks, drinking King of Kentucky or Hazmat William LaRue, the only year they ever made it. You made good friends quick fast, my friend. Yeah, you did well.
I'm a friendly person. But no, seriously, he's 100% right. I don't even know the value of half the stuff that I'm doing half the time because I'm like, I should have took more photos when we went to Kentucky this last time. You wasn't at this trip, but I was like, dude, you wake up and it's 4 King of Kentucky's, 3 Stags, on a counter from one night. Like this is like, and that's not even happening. They're like, hey, we need to finish this 2007 such and such. I'm like, I'll have a pour of that. And then for those people who are above turkey, are not just KBF people, Tim bought all the bottles that he wanted from KBF, and then we opened all them. So your VVS's, your Jim Beam lineages, your decanters that beat out some of the legends.
Yep.
We bought all of those things and cracked them that night. Chance bought a 17-year bluegrass buff turkey, which is super good.
And the lineage won the day, which was funny. Everybody would have lost money on that. You know what I mean? And I've had it. It's delicious. That Beam lineage was the truth.
It was, because I literally told Chance stayed a little bit longer. I said, hey, if you bump into another lineage, just tell me how much, buddy. If you get, he said, I'm going to stop by Jim Beam. If you get to Jim and he's beaming, and they got that lineage sitting on the shelf,
Throw in the bag.
Yeah, because last time in 2024, I bought VVS. I bought 3 or 4. I bought the 2 4 roses. I told Tim, I said, look, I'm not spending more than $2,000. I spent just under $1,500 on whiskey. And with the 2024 VVS I have, I could pay for the whole trip.
Yep.
Like it was that one whiskey of the year.
That's your partners?
Oh yeah, Parker's 14.
You did well, my friend. See? You did very well.
Only because look, and I wasn't smart about whiskey, but Tim kept everywhere we go. He kept being like, "Hey, if you don't want this, I'll just buy it from you." I was like, "Nah, but I ain't knowing about whiskey. But I ain't stupid."
That's how you push him over the edge. If you don't want it, I'll buy it from you.
Yeah.
Whatever you paid for it, watch him buy it now.
And then I was like, "Nah, I ain't stupid, buddy." I said, "If you buy it from me, must mean it's worth something. So I bet just hold on to it." Even the Heaven Hill 18 that I got. Like, bro, I've got, and this was year 1, 7 months into whiskey, walking through the journey with Tim, his brother and some friends, and just having access. What's funny is now that I know better, I come out, I bought this little wee bottle, this little wee Old Forester from like a tent in Kentucky, and his brother and them have ridiculous whiskey. And so I come out, I'm like, hey guys, you want some boys? It's like this, Trevor, save your whiskey, man. We got plenty. I'm thinking like, oh, Tim was like, oh, this is a good buy. Buying this at Kentucky. But they brought some legends.
Yeah, they travel well, that group. 100%.
That is a good way of putting it, man.
Yeah.
And when they show up, they only bring in the good stuff.
Yeah.
I know now what to look for. I had no clue before, but I now know. So Richard, walk us through this one right here.
Yes. So this is one of the Bardstown Bourbon Company distillate ryes that was distilled for Belle Meade. 320 has always been one of the better ones that showed up. All of the barrels are singing today, so this one is no exception. It's a 64% rye, 30% corn, 6% malted barley, and it turned 9 on the 27th of February. It's a fruit bomb right now. I think it's like 124, 125 proof. It doesn't sip that high, but it's got some power, and it's exceptional today.
I could see that. And Richard's right. I do have perspective now in terms of palate. Tim literally just, I don't want to say fussed at me, but I went to ask him something one time. I say, what's this? He said, quit acting stupid. Because I'm now drinking. I was just, in a year and a half, all the whiskey I've had, you can't act like you just don't know. 36 barrels.
You're informed.
Highly informed, to say the least. But this is good. I can see the barley is what I feel on the back end.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've had everything separate and singularly, so I can basically feel the flavor notes. What have you learned about barley once it hits a certain age? Chance says that, the ryes turn and they do something at 8+. I would agree.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite blends, or even just single barrels, are ryes that you go, you sure this isn't a bourbon? The barley, though, it's got that little bit of bite to it, but it's good.
And it depends where your lane is. Some people don't like it. Some people don't. Some people, especially like the high malt stuff, some people are hard on it. You find a little bit of it in every bill or most bills, so it obviously plays some purpose in the grain recipe. But yeah, when you start getting too high on the, kind of like you were the other day with that 51 rye, 49% malted barley, that was too much barley for you. So you see people, they'll make a face. It will present a certain way. It'll either be sometimes it'll be that malted chocolate note, or sometimes it'll be a little bit of a sour kind of bread thing. It shows up different ways, but it's it is needed in its smaller quantity
on earth, man. On earth, bro. Yeah. I feel like Richard be like, this is be like if you're sitting there and you're watching the flamingo walk across the beach at such. You're like, bro, what are you talking about? Just drink the damn whiskey. But it makes sense, and he's right. Barley has a bite to it at times, and it's not pleasant to me personally. Somebody out there likes it. Not always my favorite.
But it has its role, right? I mean, if it's in all these mash bills in a small quantity, they've obviously tried it without it. You know what I mean? It does a thing.
That poses the question, too. As it gets older, the barley doesn't get muted. I feel like it marinates in a sense where it like marries well with the whiskey that's in the bottle.
I'm not usually able to pick it out when it's in a lower part of the mash bill. I can usually find it when it's like 100% single malt or in a rye like that where it's a 51 rye, 49% malted barley. When it's that high in the grain recipe, you can find it. When it's in the kind of 4, 5, 6, 8% range, it's harder for me to pick it out as part of the overall experience. Sometimes it shows its face a little bit more than others.
There's a guy who does, so if you're a food connoisseur, there's a program on Netflix called Chef's Table. They do a very good job.
Great show.
You seen it?
Yeah. And I like that it's global.
And so when you go and you watch it, there's a dude who literally grabs grains, tomatoes, and everything, right? So I actually, you wasn't there. God, I wish you was there at this fucking... At MGP, you walk through one of the buildings and there's these grains on the ground. And I don't know if they fall or whatever, but you grab the grains and you get, we chewed on them. I picked them straight off of the ground and you chew them and you go, wow. So that's rye. I feel like when you get the ingredients in its raw form, you almost have a better connection.
Yeah. And there's also that trick where you can, certainly not, someone showed it to me, but it's been around for a long time. A little bit of grain, a little bit on the glass. Smell? What grain you smell? You smell rye? It's a rye.
If you hear your barber do that, he got to tear your head up. you see him roast back on and slap his hands that hard, he gonna tear your ass up. He feel like he finna wear my head out, boy. That's when you look back, you say, man, I'm just here for a haircut, bro. And anywho, man, Richard's 100%. So walk them through the mash, but one more time on that.
Yeah, so it's a Bellmead contract distilled rye from Bardstown Bourbon Company. It turned 9 on the 27th of February, and it's 64% rye, 30% malted 30% corn, 6% malted barley.
Okay.
And it's delicious today.
Yeah. And I can taste it all. To me, sometimes that barley has just enough bitterness to be there.
Yeah.
And I think, based on my experience, once we get into the 10 plus years, if you told me it was barley in there, I'm like, oh, it's there, but it's so subtle, it's almost aromatic, and definitely nothing on the palate, to say the least. So, stay tuned, keep it whiskey, guys. We're going on another barrel pick, barrel selection. Richard getting us into barrel. I would take a bottle of this and share it with friends. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't take it and drink it for myself. Not today, at least.
Sure.
There's a lot of good barrels in here, and you really never run out of options as long as these guys are in the barrel house trying to figure out what's the best. Oh, and what's next, guys? Keep it whiskey. Here's Richard, good stuff, man.